What is happening, golfers? Today we wanted to have a little different conversation as we were in the middle of winter and all that jazz. One of the most important things to think about with the new year is what your wardrobe for the golfing world is going to look like this next year. As a golfer, you know your wardrobe's pretty important. As such, I do have a couple of different pairs of pants that I like to wear, and by a couple I mean a lot because in my opinion, pants are more important than shirts. Shirts, you can get like a $5 collared shirt anywhere. You can get those, time on time on time. You can even go to Goodwill or Salvation Army stores and get pretty good selection. But with pants, I like to always buy brand new, and I like to make sure that I get like the right kind. So the majority of my pants are actually from the Greg Norman collection. I love the feel, but I do have one pair of pants that's not from them that I don't like very much. I like the color. This is actually a light blue, if you can't tell very much from my poor lighting in my studio, office, home office, whatever. But the point is, this is actually from Fabletics, the company that makes the really awkward, like, booty bust commercials and all that jazz, where they're all focusing on your butt. Like, they're like, hey, check it out. It bends. So I've had this pair of pants for over a year now, and I can tell you right now, I initially got them simply because I liked the color. It's always cool to have one or two pairs of pants in your collection that I think are not the normal colors. I have the majority of my pants are black, charcoal, and tan. And then I have a couple pairs that are, I have like one that's like silver. I would love a white pair. Don't have a white pair for whatever reason. Not sure why. I got a pink pair for Christmas, by the way. What's up? A pink pair of Greg Normans for Christmas. Yes. But anyway, I like having a couple of odd colors like the light blue. And I get great compliments from people whenever I wear them, like out in public. These are Fabletics, by the way. But they advertise sometimes on Facebook Marketplace and all that jazz as actually being like for golf. Their pants being for golf. And I can tell you right now, they are not for golf. A couple of big things as to why they're not for golf, and I want to talk about this right now. First off, they don't really cover your ankles very well. I wear size 34, 32, and pretty much, in all honesty, I could probably wear 34, 30, which, by the way, 30, the second number is usually in reference to length. I could probably wear 30 in most pairs of pants, but I prefer 32 because I like to have my ankles properly covered. I'm not out here trying to be, the guys out there wearing capri pants when they're trying to do that, or the joggers or whatever, the capri pants, basically. I'm not trying to wear that crap. So I like having my ankles properly covered, especially during winter. I don't want air getting into my ankles. All right. So, when you're sitting in the golf cart or whatever, a lot of times with these, Fabletics pants, they're right up pretty high. And so even in a 32, which is normally going to still cover my ankles whenever I'm, in a sitting position, a crouch position like this, there's still plenty of ankle exposure. So I don't like that at all. You wouldn't like that at all. Not a fun feeling. Another big issue with them is that they do breathe, but they're so thin. Most golf pants, the reason why you wear golf pants versus jeans, when you get jeans wet, the water sticks in there and then it's just wet. These pants, they do wick water the way that you would want them to. However, they don't hide sweat the way that you'd want them to. So, if you're wearing them in the middle of summer, or a period of time where you are going to get some sweat on you, if you're not wearing an underpair, like a secondary layer of pants underneath you, you're going to have the Lucas Glover swamp butt going on. And that's not fun at all. Nobody wants to be out there, rocking that deep, nasty man booty swamp butt. You don't want, your whole entire crotch area, looking like, the Amazon rainforest, okay? It's already enough of a rainforest down there. You don't want it to be an extra rainforest. So that's one of the bigger problems. The other big issue really comes down to the pockets. And again, these are good pants for just wearing out and about. They're decent. They actually stretch a little bit in the waist, so that way if you have some slight adjustments over the weekend. All of a sudden you eat too many steak sandwiches before you go out to the course and you're feeling a little tight in your waist. Well, they'll stretch a little bit for you just to be able to get out there. However, if you're like me, when you're golfing, there's a couple things I like to have in my pants when I'm golfing. I like to have in my remember, left-handed, so, reverse it if you're right-handed. Front left pocket, I like to have, like my tees, usually just one or two, my ball repair, my divot repair tool, and a ball mark. That's what I like to have in this pocket right here. Nothing in this pocket, nothing in this pocket. This pocket back here, when putting, I like to have my glove. If it's warm enough for me to not have my glove on when I'm putting. If it's below 45 or 50, I'm probably going to keep my gloves on when I'm putting. Just not interested in getting my hands colder than they already are. But these pants, they're not really that great with keeping things stay in the right spot. And what I mean by that is that with your pockets, if you're actually putting things in your pockets, and some people I know put way more in their pockets than I do. I got guys out there that I'll run into the course that they're putting extra balls, their cell phone, the cart girl's phone number. Kidding. All in their pockets while they're playing. So they got God knows what going on in here. And one thing that's important about good pockets when you're playing is that it's really important for you to know that whatever's in there is not going to shift around. If it starts shifting around or shuffling around in your swing, man, that's going to throw you off. Even if you're not cognitively able to recognize that is going to throw you off. And that's something I noticed about the Fabletics pants. There is a much, much lower threshold for what can be put in thy pants and stay stagnant, stay in the same spot, versus my Greg Normans or my Lululemons or my FootJoys or my Under Armours. All of those other pairs of pants that I have, everything just stays right where it's supposed to be, with a much, much higher rate of consistency. By the way, Lululemon actually, I would say, has the highest ability to keep things where it's supposed to be. Like, I can probably put 3 golf balls in my pockets, and those things will not move. I mean, they stay right where they're supposed to be. Don't like them as much because, again, the ankle issue versus the Greg Normans, which do fix the ankle issue. However, just personal preference at that point. Anyway, but these Fabletics, like I said, you can have like almost nothing in there, and they just flap about. They flap about. And God forbid you be that person like myself who sometimes will put your phone in your pocket when you play. Occasionally I'll have my phone in there because I use my phone for my GPS. That's what I use for being able to get yardages. I don't have the shooter tool. My hands shake a little too much for that to be consistent, and I just don't like having to rely on my shaky hands to be able to actually accurately shoot the flag sticks. So I prefer to have the phone GPS. Because also with the phone GPS, I get, front of green, middle of green, back of green. That's my personal preference. But anyway, so if I have my phone in my pocket, it's just wicking and shaking like crazy. So I can't do it. I can do it with pretty much all my other pants, but I can't do it with those. Overall, I mean, they're stylish. You will get some nice compliments, but they do feel like they're made out of the material of a 1994 windbreaker. So very, very loud, very, very loud, as you can hear from that. Very loud, very, very wafty. They don't necessarily form fit to your legs very well. So, you will feel like a balloon if you're in the wind, where you're just like, man, my legs are not, freaking whacking, waving, inflatable arm flailing tube bands. That's what you'll feel like, by the way. The point is, though, guys, if you're looking at clothing options for golf with pants, which I prefer to play in pants almost exclusively, just my personal preference. I don't like seeing my legs, just how it is. Rather see my pants than my legs. Plus, I feel a whole lot more confident walking into, shrubbery areas or water hazard zones trying to find free balls in pants than I do in shorts. Whole lot less likely, or fearful of like thorns, snakes, dead raccoons, dead hookers, whatever you're going to find in those spots. But yeah, if you're looking into pants for golf, I would highly recommend not Fabletics. Just, I have this pair. I'm not angry about this pair, but let's put it this way, even though I love the color, it's literally my last option in my entire wardrobe. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful day. Keep striping.